Adam, congratulations. It was a battle royal though, wasn't it?
Absolutely, proper cup tie that. Yeah, and I think it was great for the neutral, to be fair. There was loads of chances end to end, and fair play to Sporting Khalsa. They came and had a proper goal. They made it difficult for us, and to be fair, we seen from the first game, they almost play with like a front 4 or 5 and a back 4 or 5, so at times it caused a lot of problems. Landell up top gets hold of the ball and they have runners off and they've got energy, and they just gave a proper go, didn't they? We knew it was going to be difficult. We knew we'd have to stand up to them having spells here, but thankfully we've managed to grind out the win.
When the board went up for 5 minutes of added on time and you were 2-1 down, what were you thinking then? You think it was the dream was over, if you like, in terms of progression, or did you always feel that there was enough in the tank there?
I thought we might have a goal in us, but when it gets to that stage in the game, after coming back the first time, you think, right, that's it, let's go and win it, and then they get the second one, so like a sucker punch. But I think it just shows brilliant character from the group. The lads now, that's a few times now we've come back and get back into games, and they don't give up. We worked them really hard in pre-season, really hard for the first few weeks, and the gaffer said at the end of 90 minutes there, he said, listen, no one's had a harder pre-season, this is when it'll kick in. And I think you could see in extra time, the longer the game went on, I thought the more confident we got, the fitter we looked, and I thought we started to be a bit more patient and move the ball into better areas at times, which we're probably guilty of not doing earlier on in the game. But to be fair, that's a lot of that was down to Sporting Khalsa and getting after us at the back and pressing and not making it easy for us.
Yeah, and all the emotion around this fixture, all the drama obviously building up to it. What was the messages to the players just before they came out tonight?
No, I think once we got here tonight, you have to focus on your job. It's like a one-off game now, it's a cup. And the gaffer mentioned that when you're at a club like Hereford, you want to go and have a good cup run. You want to have good games and things for the memories, but in order to get to the big games later on in the stages, you have to take care of the early rounds and just focus on the job at hand. Block out any outside noise, focus on your job and try and beat your man on the pitch, and hopefully we can come out on top and get through to the next round.
And some really good goals. I think you already alluded to it, but was it spirit and character and that bit of belief in the end that got you over the line, do you think?
Absolutely, yeah, because I think easily especially when they got to the second goal, I think a lot of teams might have just chucked it and gave up. We didn't. The lads stuck to it and kept going, having that belief, and thankfully we managed to get the equaliser and send it to extra time, but I wasn't too happy for it.
I was going to say.
I think it was the first person to get cramp after 5 minutes. So, yeah, no, luckily, but listen, at the end of the day, it's about getting through in the cup. That's what it's about, getting into the next round, and thankfully we've done that today.
It was a really good result in the end, but just a few other things. You only named 5 on the bench. Is that the squad a little bit stretched at this point?
Yeah, we've got a couple of injuries. A couple of lads came off the back of the game the other day. Obviously, Loss came off at half time. He had a bit of a strained muscle. Prezi took a knock early on the first half, managed to battle through the game, but it's stiffened right up. Mons is obviously cup tired. Who else are we missing at the minute? Gus is hopefully coming back sooner rather than later. But yeah, we were missing a couple tonight. Mike kept knocking the game the other day in his knee, so West Brom had to assess him. So yeah, we're down to the bare bones when I'm on the bench.
Yes.
But, yeah, no, listen, that's why we've got a decent squad, and thankfully we had enough to get through the game.
He was the general on the pitch when he came on, used all your experience as well, might I say. Just a word on Michael. You said he's got an injury, has he? So he's gone back to West Brom, but is there a chance of him then extending his loan deal, do you think?
Yeah, well, he's here tonight to watch and support the lads, to be fair. He just got, it's a bit of a, I think it's more precaution. They just might send him for a scan. And you're at the top club, so you can get your scans on demand. So they're probably just precaution with him, and then hopefully the gaffer can speak to them and see he's done really well for us so far. And hopefully we can look at extending that, but that'll be a conversation probably to have later on in the week. Hopefully his injury's not too bad for us. Do
you think Norton Diath will be ready for Saturday?
Potentially. He's very stiff after the game the other day. He as Loss always does at half time, he said, listen, I can keep going, we'll try and give you another 15 and 20 minutes, but when someone's saying that, they're struggling, you could see he was carrying the first half, so there was no point risking him tonight. So again, physio will assess him probably Thursday, and when we go again, we manage everything up and go again as we do.
Tight turnaround, isn't it? But Madhu Cisse on the bench, that's positive for you.
Yeah, because Mads came in pre-season, he's had a little bit of an ankle knock, and he's it's been at him here and there, so he's been back fully training now, and obviously there's opportunity to come back on the bench tonight when the lads have been doing well the last few weeks. I think that's 5 unbeaten now, so the lads are deserving to keep their place in the team, and now it's up to people to take their opportunity when they get the chance. Brilliant to see the subs, not me, the rest of the subs tonight come on and impact the game though. Ozzy comes on again and impacts it from the bench, and it's a great little finish, very calm. Eno comes on, obviously caused him all sorts of problem with his pace and his directness, and thankfully he managed to get his goal as well. So I'm delighted as well for Rem, because I thought Rem worked his nuts off.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
And he done everything but scored the other day, and I think he was down himself, but I was delighted for him to get a finish tonight.
Yeah, it was a real team effort as well, wasn't it, in terms of getting the win. Now it's Hemel Hempstead on Saturday. Have you played there for a start? Do you know much about that?
No, I've never actually played there. I've played about 1,000 grounds. That's not one of them. So new experience for me. Yeah, no, listen, we'll get over tonight, and then first thing tomorrow morning, after myself, we'll get watching as much as we can of them, see what footage we can get. It's difficult at the part time trying to get hold of footage and see what we can do. They probably had someone here tonight to watch us, so no doubt their instructions will be to get afters early on in the game and to be third legs, but as the gaffer said, inside is we're mentally a good group, very strong character, and we'll be ready to go again.
Well, Adam, it's great to speak to you. Thank you very much for talking to us. Congratulations. You marched on in the FA Cup.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Adam.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.